Dante.
And hey, I'm Dana.
And welcome to the Dante Show.
What's up, Village? It's your boy Kwame, the man with the plan behind the stands. Before we get into it, do me a favor. If you are on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, or whatever, hit that share button so people can see what the fuss is all about. Don't worry if it's the end of the show. They can catch the replay. We're trying to spread the love instead of spreading the lies, y'all. All right, let's get into it. Did you know that our boy Dante Morrison is a best-selling author? Do you like smut? Yes, smut. Well, these books are filled with it. Check out The End of the Rainbow, followed by the sequel, Yesterday Clarified. You can get them on Amazon, or if you are tired of giving Jeff Bezos the time of day, you can visit www.dantemorrison.com, where, in fact, you will find out more about the motivational, inspirational, hilarious host known as Dante. Mr. Morrison, if you're nasty. He is not only the host of TDS, he is a public health advocate, motivational speaker, and community change agent. Articles, interviews, blogs, podcasts, vlogs, and more. You name it, and Dante has done it. Speaking of vlogs, have you subscribed to the Dante Show YouTube? Now, every villager should be subscribed. The more the channel grows, the bigger TDS messaging becomes. It's really simple. Go to www.youtube.com/Dante Morrison. And also, did you want to be a guest on the Dante Show? Or do you want to book Dante or Dana on your platform? Stop. Don't inbox him, don't email him, or even call him. You know what you need to do? Go ahead and open your handy-dandy smartphone or Wi-Fi enabled device and send an email to info@pyromedianetwork.com and request your presence on the show. It's 2021, y'all, and Dante and Dana has got management. So, let's conduct business. Speaking of management, the Dante Show is produced by Pyro Media Network. We are a Black-owned digital marketing and video production agency helping businesses and brands make an impact with their message. We also help businesses navigate what we call the biggest communication shift in over 500 years, social media. So, if you have a business, brand, or influence, and you want to take it to the next level, contact us today. All right, y'all. Thank you for joining us tonight, and we hope to see you on the next. Boom.
What up, Village? What up, what up, what up? Happy Tuesday. Welcome to the Dante Show with your boy, your host, the phenomenal, the incomparable, the me, Dante Morrison. I am glad to be with you for another round of phenomenal conversation and dialogue where we talk about all things Black. We empower the Black community, lift up the Black voice, and just empower Black people. So let's do this. Give yourself a round of applause for being here on tonight. What's up, cousin Keisha? What's up, Frat? What's up, Sean? How you doing, man? So listen, right now, go ahead and invite your friends, your family, your cousins, your loved ones to another round of the Dante Show. And while you're doing that, I'm going to do the same. Let me tag my folks, get my folks up in here that ain't been here in a minute, and I want to know where they been. So listen, we're going to have a good conversation on tonight, and I'm excited about it because oftentimes, you know, we don't really unpack situations and circumstances that really need to be discussed. So let's get in on tonight because I think as a Black community, we owe it to ourselves to always have healthy and enriching dialogue, conversations that's really going to build us as a community, that's going to really build us as just individuals, that's going to build us as people. So Let's do it. I'm tagging folks that I believe should be up in this conversation. And if you know anybody else, then you do the same. All right. I love y'all. I mean it. None y'all can do about it. So let me see. Who else can I get? But as we wait, we're gonna jump into some other topics and conversations that I think is of equal importance. First being, why are the AKs mad at Insecure? Let's talk about that. So if you are a member of, Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, let me know, why are y'all so upset that Immature featured your colors on the show? Now listen, I'm Greek, I'm frat, I get it. The colors are powerful, the colors mean something. It's all about that statement. But let me know, why are you guys so upset and so bothered that one of the characters on Insecure wore your colors? I mean, to me, that's kind of paying homage to your wonderful sorority, your sorority that has accomplished so much, your sorority that is historic. But I want to hear from some AKAs, and y'all let me know, why are y'all so bothered? Why are y'all so mad? What's up, Sean Poole? Thanks for tagging your peeps up in tonight's show. So AKAs, where y'all at? I know y'all out there somewhere. Are y'all gonna speak up? Y'all gonna talk about this? Y'all gonna make some noise? Why y'all mad? Why y'all mad at Issa Rae and Insecure for talking about, for having the colors? They didn't show, your insignia and all that. It was the colors. So I just want to know. But right, frat, that's my thing. She's an actress. She is an actress and an actor. She was making it happen, but y'all are really upset. I mean, Amanda Seales, I love Amanda Seales. First of all, she's a dime, but I also love because she has this knowledge and intellect, and she always targets those hard hit conversations that most people try to avoid. If you follow Amanda Seales on Instagram, you know Amanda Seales does not hold back. But she is also one of the stars of Insecure. And in the first episode, when she first appeared, she had on the pink and green. I was like, is she an AKA? I didn't know that. But then as she kept going, yeah, she's an AKA. Well, now the AKAs are upset. They are bothered. They are mad. They called it wildly disrespectful to have it on the show. I mean, I'm not sure why. I'm not an AKA. I ain't trying to trigger no AKAs or nothing like that. But just help me understand it. Right. We never got upset with no military movies as long as the captain don't have an ensign bar. Facts. And you gotta understand it. You ever watched a military movie and that junk ain't on point? Trust me, we gonna sit and be like, yo, that don't make no sense. That ain't how that go down. That ain't right. So facts, frat. And I think when we talk about actors and what they do as their craft, we can't put too much on it. I mean, it's a craft. But the thing about it that's bothering me, this is what's really bothering me about it the most, is the fact that, hold on, let me see what Sean said. Because Sean, as a member of the D9, I'm sure Issa Rae went through the proper channels to get clearance from national headquarters. That's my thing. I know Issa ain't no fool. And I know that Issa reached out and talked to the proper persons to say, is it okay if I reflect the pink and green on my hit HBO series that is in Black households that is promoting Black excellence? Is it okay if I do that? And I'm sure somebody within the infrastructure of Alpha Kappa Alpha sorority was like, Issa, we'd be honored. But as it trickled on down, and it's probably sorors that ain't even paid their dues. Are these active members that are speaking out against Insecure? Are you sorors that you ain't paid no dues? You ain't did no community service. You ain't did nothing. But all you guys are pink and green powder on your wall from when you crossed. And you ain't did nothing since you stepped across them burning sands. I'm just asking. Kiana hit the nail on the head. Folks love being offended. I was talking to someone today about this exact same thing. Now I'm a particular age. I'm the 45 and older crowd. And I want to know, the 45 and older crowd, I would say the 40 and over crowd, do you notice that society has become, I don't want to say sensitive, but I don't want to say easily triggered. But does it seem like every single thing is an issue nowadays? Like everything is an issue. I'm not blaming it on social media either, but it seems like everything is an issue. Every single day we're hearing about something that is problematic. I'm just concerned about it because I was talking to someone today. We had a conversation, and I get that people are evolving, humanity is evolving. I'm loving it. I'm loving the evolve. But what I'm noticing is the lack of empathy to educate those that really truly don't understand. All right, so let me see. We Greeks, but I'll be damned if I get upset over a movie. Black folks getting shot by the police and folks crying about colors. Real talk. Real talk. I mean, I'm purple and black all day, but there are some bigger issues. If I see somebody wearing purple and black on the screen, I'm like, oh, I wonder if they frat. Let's see. But I'm focused on bigger stuff right now. So when we think about it, so Lakeisha Walker and Sean Poole said, yes. Kwame always gets triggered with the generational crap. Kwame, I'm not saying generational because people of all ages, right now are talking about generations, but I know that I am older. I'm older. I see things through a different lens. I see things through a 1980s, 1990s lens, lenses that persons younger than me don't see it through. Like I said, right now, I think it is beautiful how we seeing all this evolve. The evolution of so many different things is wonderful. We need to grow, but there also should be a level of compassion, empathy, and understanding for those that aren't there yet. So, if I'm asking you about a certain thing in the newness of existence and you bashing me and going off on me without taking the time to really unpack it so I can understand, that's not fair to me. That's not fair to me. That's all I'm saying, Kwame. So it's not a generational thing. It's an anybody thing. For example, my frat brothers, we did this Facebook Live conversation, and it was the gay frat brothers and the straight frat brothers. We was having a conversation. The straight frat brothers like, yo, we just want to kind of, help us understand, help us get it, Now, me, I'm not gonna be like, well, you should already get it, yada yada yada. I'm like, what do you not get? Where are we bumping heads? Where are we bumping heads? And how can we make this easy for both sides? Because we gotta coexist. Joe is not only my frat brother, Joe is my line brother. Like we crossed together. We went through all of that together. Joe is straight. I am gay. But at the end of the day, we got each other's backs. We got each other's backs. And I think we spend more time trying to force acceptance than just understanding we on different pages, but we still can coexist respectfully. That's where I'm at. Respectfully. Now when you get to gay bashing and all that kind of stuff, now we're at an impasse and we got to have a real conversation. But I don't get the gay thing. Okay, I don't get the straight thing. All right, let's go get a burrito. Bet. We ain't got to talk about it no more. But the respect needs to be there. And I think right now, it's like that respect thing, it gets kind of messed up because we so busy rah-rahing, it just causes all kind of problems. Let's see what Kwame is saying from behind the scenes. I agree with you, but oftentimes older generations, here we go, ageism, tend to utilize that as an excuse not to progress. But I also agree there is a way to have a conversation. So, and I think, and see, for me, I can be like, younger generations, don't have the patience to want to sit and talk with us because they just so rah-rah, That's all I'm saying. So that's it. So, that's my soapbox. That's my pseudo Dana ain't here. Dante drop about all this. We gonna dive into something bigger. All right, so our special guest tonight is Sheryl Bailey. Y'all know Sheryl was on the show before, and we talked about Black issues and all that kind of stuff. Sheryl is a lawyer. So I'm going to ask this question to y'all before we dive into the special guest. I'm going to ask y'all this question. Put it in the comment sections. Oh, that's cool. Come on, you put it up. Let me know what y'all think. This is going to kick it off. All right. Yes or no? It's a yes or no answer. Is there such a thing as Black on Black crime? All right. Is there such a thing as Black on Black crime? No judgment. Put yes or no in the comment section. All right. If you don't know, put a shoulder shrug. If you don't care, put a shoulder shrug. But is there such a thing as Black on Black crime? I want to see where the thought process is. Just a yes or no. I'm not asking nobody to do their dissertation or their definition or explanation. Just simple yes or no? All right, so we got a lot of yeses. Frat, no. Yes, yes, yes. Sean, no. Amos, yes. Shatsy's like, I don't know. Be honest. I'm talking about Amos, yes, yes. Jacqueline, yes. Kiana, see, there you go. Kiana, follow instructions. All I said was put yes or no. Yes or no. It's always that one. And Kiana sitting with her headscarf, probably laying in the bed on her phone like this. See, I'm just saying, yes or no. Whoo! Man, it's always us. Always us. All right. So for the most, look like everybody is leaning towards yes. All right, Cheryl's gonna come on, and my answer is no. There's no such thing as black on black crime. My answer is no, and I know Tice. I know Tice is like, come on. Let's open this door. All right, I'm a no person. I'm a no person. There was no such thing as black on black crime. Hopefully, through tonight's conversation, you will understand why I feel that. And Tice, I'm gonna try my best to try to pull the Taisism. I'm tapping into your spirit, Eba. I'm tapping into your spirit right now. I'm gonna extract, that Thais look at this. All right. So here we go. All right. So without further ado, Village, welcome back to the Donta Show, the phenomenal, the incomparable Sheryl Bailey.
Hey everybody, how are you guys doing? I'm excited to be here. This is my stuff right now.
It's it. I love it. All right, so Sheryl, I'm not sure if you got to see all the comments, but I asked the question, is there such a thing as black on black crime? The majority, I would say 80%, said yes. I'm a no person. I'll let you say what you are after you intro yourself. Let the folks know that may not have seen you on part one. Let them know who you are and what you do.
Hey, I'm Sheryl Bailey. I am a criminal defense attorney. I work for the Los Angeles County Public Defender's Office. And I just have to say, legally, my opinions are my opinions alone, not the opinions of the Los Angeles County Public Defender's Office. But I just believe that my job is in the defense of Black people and to keep us out of jail, to keep us free, to keep us moving, and just Black liberation in general. And let's keep it real.
I love that. 100%,
yeah.
100%. So, right, gotta come through, sis.
Come on now.
Black excellence. We need more of us in them courtrooms and in them jury boxes and on that judge. We need more of us up in there.
Stop lying at jury selection. I need you in the box.
Right. Don't ignore it. Mail it back in. Just go take a book and just go sit there and wait. You could help somebody stay out of jail. You never know.
Exactly.
All right, so Sheryl, I'm a no. There's no black on black crime, and as you give your answer, I'm going to ask folks right now, if you have not done so, please make sure to follow the Donta Show on YouTube. Go to youtube.com/Donta Morrison. Click that subscribe button. It will cost you absolutely nothing. Go ahead and click it. My show is just as free as Pornhub. So if you're watching Pornhub for free, click on the Donta Show, subscribe to my page. For free. It will cost you nothing. That's normally Dana's spot, and I forgot to do it. So I'm like, let me get it because my boy ain't here, So, all right. So thank y'all. And right now, invite your friends, family, cousins, loved ones in for this show because we all need to be educated on this topic, especially people of color. No, Black people. I'm going to stop saying that, people of color. I'm going to stop saying that because I have found that I fall into that trap of trying to be all inclusive, people of color. No, Black people. Because you can best believe they are standing up for their own and they ain't thinking about us. So Black people need to be educated on this and learn about this. All right. So my frat, Joe McClain, no such thing as black on black crime, bet. All right. So here we go. Sheryl, go ahead.
Hell to the nah. There is no such thing as black on black crime. Black on black crime is actually a title that was given to crime in order to make the victims of crime and the perpetrators of crime kind of like on a similar level. So if you say black on black crime, then you're just talking about two people. Well, in society's eyes, we're not even talking about two people. We're talking about two animals killing each other. And if two animals are just killing each other, then we don't have to take any stake or concern. So the truth of the matter is is that 95% of Black people kill Black people, 85% of white people kill white people, same percentage of Hispanic people kill Hispanic people, Asians kill Asians, and vice versa. That's because we live in a segregated society. You kill, hurt, rob, maim whoever you are next to. The only reason they call it Black on Black crime is to make sure that you are dehumanized. If you are not looked at as human, then what goes on in your community doesn't matter. They don't even call it brown on brown crime. That's how deep it is.
Or
The
yellow
only
on yellow
people
crime.
that they are singling out is Black people. You will never hear them call it white on white crime. A white man kills his whole entire white family. They don't call it a white on white crime. They call it a mental health crisis. A Black man kills his whole entire Black family. They don't call it Black on Black crime. It's out of control. Black people get shot in the store in Target by another Black person. It's Black on Black crime. A white man in Vegas shoot up all the white people in America. It's possibly a terrorist shooting. We don't know what it is. It's a mental health crisis. We need help. We don't know what it is. It's white on white crime then. That's what it is. That's what it is.
Right.
But they don't want to call it that because it takes away the power that they get from the stigma of calling it Black on Black crimes. Because if you say Black on Black crimes, then you don't have to deal with any of the systemic issues that are causing the crimes to occur. Instead, you can humanize the people and put them in jail and create a system that we have now, which is mass incarceration.
Systemic issues. That is like my new phrase that I love. We got systemic issues. Come and put Joseph's crime back up. Black on Black crime implies that we specifically target each other for being Black. Crime happens, and it happens in the neighborhood that they live in, which is mainly Black. There is crime, and there is targeting of Black people for being Black. So exactly. And we talk about, crime, we talk about these Black on Black crimes, whatever it is. Yes. Most of the people that are murdered know their perpetrator. They live within close proximity of their perpetrator. They probably frequent the same locations, the same hamburger stand, the same liquor store. It is some kind of correlation with the individuals. But I'm not targeting you because you're Black. It just so happened that you're Black and you piss me off to the point that now I'm ready to squabble with you, and we fighting and tussling in the street, So I think that we got to get out of that mindset, yet the Black on Black crime. No, it just happens in a Black neighborhood.
It's especially dangerous for us to accept that mindset because when we do, white people go into the government and we are the ones saying, protect us from the Black people, protect us from the other Black people. Even Chris Rock made a joke. I'm not scared of, whatever. I'm scared of niggas. Right. But that mentality is what led to the 90s of them creating all these criminal bills that criminalize Black people to the point where 1 in 4 Black men are under some form of criminal injustice system. Mm-hmm. And that is done on purpose. When you take a man out of the home, you are destroying, number one, the possibility for dual income families. You are destroying the possibility to be risen out of poverty. You're trying to, at least. And now the target is on Black women. Now I'm seeing so many cases with Black women coming into the courthouse that you're getting the exact, the same numbers, 1 in 4 under some type of the criminal justice system. And it's also the easiest way to disenfranchise a population. So the only way that you can legally have a slave is through Amendment 13 is by due process of law. The due process of law is the criminal justice system. That's how you legalize slavery. So the only reason most things are even crimes is because they need to transfer people to do work. And they wanted to make sure that they criminalize everything. So you are always cycling in and out of jail. And they're using your free labor. So it's a setup. They create a system where the system itself creates communities that are impoverished, that are underdeveloped to create crime. They punish the crime, which repeats the cycle. And then the same victims of the system are now asking the system to help them.
Right.
So it's like you're a slave on a plantation. Your owner put you on the plantation. He has you enslaved. And then another slave pushes you down and you go to the slave owner and be like, well, can you punish him?
Wow. Now that breakdown, now that should get some hearts going up. That should get some hand claps. That should get some ahas. That should get some rubbing your chin and all kind of stuff. Because when you think about that, you know, and I know, and we talked about this before we went live, Sheryl, is just that there's an indescribable feeling that Blacks in America have. You know, we can't even say we're tired no more. You know, we can't say we're tired, we're fatigued, we're worn. Those don't even, it's not a big enough word to describe how it feels to be Black in America when we talk about these systemic issues, the criminal justice system and all that. Because tired, it doesn't capture it. You know, let me read what Sean wrote real quick. Sean said, in my opinion, Black on Black crime is not a thing. It's called proximity crime. Calling it Black on Black crime makes it seem like Black people are killing other Black people by simply being Black. Exactly what Joseph said. Exactly. Joseph said the whole concept of Black on Black crime subconsciously teaches us that we should fear each other simply for being Black. Yes, that right there is everything. And the reason that is everything to me is because I always joke about this when I talk about my partner, Eddie. And when we go out, I say hi to everybody. Hello, hi, how are you? Hello, hi. And Eddie be like, do you talk to everybody? I'm like, if they Black, yes. Because we have to begin to normalize the process of being okay with saying, hey, what's up, hi, to someone that shares our skin color. We cannot keep walking around scared to talk to people that look just like us. But like Joe just said, that subtle fear, you know, well, if I speak, they're going to think I'm trying to charge them up. If I speak, they're going to think I'm doing it. If I speak, no. You know, I speak. When I'm in the liquor store and I do what, hey, what's up, man? How you doing? You know, something. Because some people are tired of being invisible. They're tired of not being seen. And if you're not being seen by your own people, you know, that's a problem. So if you are Black and you are guilty of not speaking to other Blacks, especially when you walk into a room that's occupied by whites and you see that one other Black person in the room and you don't do a head nod, you don't do a what's up, you don't do that, you're the problem. To me, you're the problem. Now, if that Black person don't speak back, that's something totally different. But you need to do your part to let the other Black person know, I see you, you see me. Yeah, we here playing this game, but when we walk up out of here, we drinking some rare Kool-Aid. Period.
And trust me, it brings a lot of fear to white people when they see Black people getting along, especially in a work environment. They automatically assume that you're in cahoots trying to do something because they know something isn't right. And I think the feeling that we're trying to put into words can't be put into words because as Black people, we have spent more time trying to survive than actually live. Mm-hmm. And when you're surviving, you don't have time for emotions. You don't have time to be in your body to feel how this racist act feels or how it felt to be short on your check last week and how it feels when you go to the liquor store and the attendant helps everybody but you can't get mad because if you get mad, then they're going to call the police and you might get shot in the back, or how it feels knowing that everybody at the job makes more money than you, even though you do more work, or how it feels when you're at the job and they're always giving the Black and brown people, you know, the shit work while everybody else is, you know, you're always the fall person. And exactly how are you supposed to express that? So we hold so much in and we're trying to survive. Mm-hmm. And in order to have true liberation, you have to live. We have to escape the plantation. We have to escape the fear of making white people uncomfortable. So my job is to make white people uncomfortable. And that's why I like to have these conversations, even at work.
Your job is to what, Sheryl? What's your
make
job?
Make white people uncomfortable.
What's your job, Sheryl?
To make white people uncomfortable. If I got to be uncomfortable with racism, then you got to be uncomfortable with racism. Because I'm going to ask you about it.
That's a t-shirt. My job is to make white people uncomfortable. That is a whole t-shirt. That's a sermon. That's a word. Please pay your tithes and offerings to Sheryl Bailey Ministries Incorporated.
And I think more Black people, that's why we have to come together and change our language. We do not allow the oppressor to tell us what is going on in our community. What is going
Yes.
on in our community is not a black on black crime. What's going on in our community is the fact that gentrification has pushed a whole bunch of black people into a very small place that has no resources, schools that have no resources, places that have no jobs or chances of movement. You've historically lowballed us in pay. You've stifled our generational wealth. You owe us our 40 acres and a mule, and people are fed up. And that's why when people don't have what they need to have to survive, they go get what they need to get to survive. So there's always going to be crime as long as people are in survival mode. So when you say the words black on black crime, what you're doing is saying, even though you put us in this position, we're letting you off the hook and we're putting the blame on ourselves.
Wow.
So it's kind of like blaming a rape victim for their own rape.
Wow.
It's the same thing as saying she was wearing a short skirt. I am not responsible for your racism. I am not responsible for your systems. You're responsible for that. My job is to not let that bring me down and to not let you get away with it.
And I never like looked at it that way, how you just said it. You basically said when we say black on black crime, we're taking the responsibility off of the oppressor and putting it on us by saying that we can't coexist together unless we killing ourselves, which is not the truth. You know, there are systemic issues at play that were strategically put there purposefully to make us rah against each other while they sat back on their rocking chairs drinking they mint juleps on their plantation porch. You know, that is so on point. I love what I can't get past, my job is to make white people feel uncomfortable, and I like what Titan said when you talked about, we walk in the room and when they see us together, they get nervous. They think we over there conspiring some kind of hostile takeover or whatever. And Titan said, puts the fear of God in them. It puts the fear of God in them, to where they start getting curious. And
it's
then
like the slave revolts.
Yeah, then they'll walk over with their wine glass. Hey, what are you guys talking about? You. We're talking about you. Yeah. Why don't you guys come on over here and talk with all of us? I'm fine. We're good. We're not bothering y'all. You put so much in perspective just within the last 3 minutes, and I'm sitting here shook. Like, yeah, that's really it on point. Saying black on black crime takes the responsibility off of them, and they can stand in a corner guilt-free. Like, we tried, we gave you guys, a grocery store, we gave you guys this, and all you do is rob it. Go ahead, Sheryl. Go ahead.
No, it's the truth. And the reason why language is so important is because for all the years, all of us are different ages, and I will not accept the tag of older generation, Donta. So put that down. For all the years that we have lived since we've been in our mother's wombs, we have been being trained to think in a Eurocentric way. And those thoughts are anti-Black. They're anti-brown, they're anti-women. And we have to know that when we are speaking, because then we end up talking anti-Black, anti-brown, anti-woman without being conscious of it. So when we say black on black crime, when we say slaves, when we say those words, we're saying those things from the perspective of white people instead of the perspective of Black people. Black people were not slaves. We were people who were stolen and forced to work under punishment of death.
We were enslaved. Exactly.
Yeah, we were enslaved. But I like to say, no, we were people. We were doctors. We were, healers. We were scientists. We ran nations. We had treaties. We had whole civilizations.
We had systems. We had systems in place.
We had our own systems. Yeah. We had our own archiaries, like all those things we had. But when you think your life started as a slave, and that's where you came from, and then you grow up, and then now you're just black on black crime. You're just a criminal. You're poor. You're impoverished. You're underdeveloped, whatever you want to put on it. And then you get in trouble. So now you're just a felon. And then we treat people the same way that white people treat them. When our people go to jail, like, oh, he went to jail and he ain't no good. He ain't. But it was the system. And that's not saying we don't have our own personal responsibility. That's not what I'm saying.
Right.
But individuals cannot be the system. That's what we've been trying to do. They will use me. They'll be like, well, Sheryl, your parents live in Compton. Well, Sheryl, you went to Lusinger and there was gangbanging and Black and brown people fighting each other and, riots and all that stuff. Nobody told you would make it. And you're a lawyer. So that means anybody can do it. Barack Obama was president. That means everything's changed. Look at Donta. He's a doctor.
Right.
Why aren't all the Black people doctors?
Because opportunity is there. Yeah, opportunity is there, right?
The opportunity is there. They will let one crab get out the barrel. And boil that crab to death by itself.
Meat is tough. It's tough. Rubbery, overcooked. And
then point at you as the example for everybody else. And I had to tell a coworker at work because she had the same mentality. And I said, do not ever let white people use you to bring down your own people. You constantly remind them about the oppression and everything that you have to go through to deal with them.
Say that again. Say that again and say it.
Do not let white people use you and your success to bring down other Black people. Your job is to stand in the gap and remind these white people, make them feel super uncomfortable, and remind them why all of them can't make it.
Right. And I hope that, and I'm not saying anybody on this thread right now is guilty of that. But if you ever felt you were in that position where you had to kind of side white, to survive or whatever the case may be, just pause. Just pause and ask yourself, by me doing this, what am I really doing doing to my own community? I love the fact that I grew up with a whole lot of different obstacles. I always tell people, well, I went to like 5 elementary schools. So I used to have attachment issues. I was scared to make friends. I'm like, well, I could be friends for a year. So ain't no sense in me getting attached to you. So growing up, even as I got older, I was kind of scared to latch on to people because I'm like, I ain't gonna know you next year because I'm gonna change schools again. And that carried into my older age. So that struggle, is a part of the fabric of who I am. And I'm not gonna forget all that I went through in those experiences just so I can fit into a white space. I love being Black. I'm Black first. I'm proud about being Black. And I pray that everyone watching is just as proud to be Black, regardless of what environment you have to work, live, or exist in. So real quick, y'all, we're going to take a quick commercial break. I'm going to give you time to go and get some more Kool-Aid or another grape soda, because this is good conversation. Please do not leave. Do not log out. But me and Sheryl are going to take a breath. We're going to zen ourselves and come back for part 2 because I got some other questions I want to ask Sheryl about the system and how the system treats Blacks. So we're going to talk about that. All right, don't go nowhere. What's up, Paul? up, y'all? Welcome back to the Church of Sheryl. We appreciate you having time to spend with us on this evening. We've been talking about black on black crime and just deconstructing the myth that it exists. Black on black crime does not exist. Hopefully, those of you that said yes at the top of the show have now kind of rechanged your thought process on that. So if you are black and proud, say it loud in that chat. Let us know how proud you are to be black. Oftentimes, we don't say that enough. You know, it's like we kind of sheep behind that part. But no, we got to say it loud because they saying what they are loud and obnoxiously. So we cannot be ashamed or embarrassed to say that we are black and we are proud. Sure, before we went live on tonight, we had another conversation about the systemic issues that plague the black community that kind of lead to some of these crimes. You know, just all the poverty, the education, unemployment, all that kind of stuff. Yes, I see you, Sean. I see you, Sharitha. Proud, Kwame, black all day. And we talked about that and just how those pressures can kind of push somebody to kind of behave irrationally.
Yes.
You know, just that mental breakdown. Now, I want to ask, when in court, when a black person is convicted or accused or charged with a crime, in court, how often are those systemic issues put on the table in favor of the individual?
So in our office, we try to do a holistic practice. We try, but of course, we definitely have a lot of cases. Everything that happens to our kids and our family in court is used against them in court. If they're homeless, it's used against them. If they're addicted to drugs, it's used against them. If they used to get suspended all the time in school and we have the school reports, that can be used against them. With the new DA, he's doing a lot better with trying to look at the criminal justice system in a different way and to try to end mass incarceration. But we have a lot of work to do because I used to see, when I used to work in juvenile, I used to get very frustrated with the parents. And I used to be like, I don't understand. Why don't you know your kids' grades? Because my parents are Panamanian. They're like on it, right? But that's a privilege that I had. But when you live in the jungles and the chore of getting from your block to your school is a war,
right?
The fact that you made it to school is the victory. So I have to check out of my privilege to go look and see what life is the person that I'm representing living. And how can I accurately communicate that to a person who most likely, as a judge, is not our color, is not in the same social economical status, and never was, and has no idea what that even sounds or look like. And one of the biggest things I would fight for is getting, and I still do, even small recognition. If my client finishes high school and he's 30, we're going to stop proceedings and we're going to congratulate him for finishing high school. I don't care that he's 30, because we have to understand that it's not where we come from. It's where every individual's journey starts and begins. What's a win for me is different than what's a win for you. And so that's the type of information I try to bring.
That's good. I like that right there. What's a win for me is different. That's good. That I like how you said that, because oftentimes we'll get in our privilege, even as black people, we'll get in our privilege and look at another black person. Well, you should have by now. Yes. You know, and I don't know your journey. I don't know what obstacles you faced that prohibited you from getting to a certain level. So you're right. When a person does win at whatever age, we need to stop and celebrate and not have this, well, it's about time attitude. So I'm like,
if a person is cussing everybody out every day of the week, but they don't cuss on Sunday, then guess what? Good job, Sunday. And then maybe it'll be Saturday. Good job, weekend.
Right.
You know?
Right.
And we don't have that compassion because that was beaten out of us in slavery. And we've been beaten it out of our children ever since. So we don't have compassion for one another. And we don't understand that the reason we don't have compassion is because we are looking at ourselves from a Eurocentric and white perspective. We are trying to teach our children to survive, not how to live. So we don't allow our kids to have feelings. We don't allow our kids' journeys to be heard and expressed. We don't know how to have healthy coping mechanism skills. So that's why we start smoking weed. That's why we, smoking cigarettes. That's why we drink. And look, I've done all of those things.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna have a drink after this show. So I'm not judging. It's just what we do. And so we have to really understand and start changing the conversations that we're having. It's not like, okay, it's not about do you whoop your kids or don't you? The question is why? If you don't know your why, then that's where the start of the conversation needs to be. The question is, okay, I don't care if you go to church or not. The question is why? Why is there a church on every corner and the street all fucked up? Excuse me, sorry. And the street is messed up. So
it's not Sunday. You can curse.
Yeah. So the question is why? What's going on in our community,
right,
that we are allowing that to happen? And most of the time, a lot of the time, it is because there are things happening on the local level in our local governments that we have no idea. When they're talking about zoning, we don't want to go to no community meeting. We don't, because I'm tired. Yeah. I work 2 jobs. I'm raising 3 kids. I'm doing it by myself. I don't want to get up. So that's why they put all the liquor stores in your neighborhood on the way for your child to pass through on the way to school. It is a setup. And until you understand that that's the game you're in, you're going to keep playing the same game. You're playing checkers, they're playing chess. So you got to understand we're playing 2 different games. And the first thing to awaken your consciousness to that is to change your language. It's the same thing like, if you start going to church, you start to change your language to praise the Lord, everybody. Giving all honor to God, to whom all praises are due. God is good. You learn that stuff.
Right. You evolve.
So it's the same. Yeah, you start to evolve into the person because you are getting trained systematically. Right. So you have to understand that you've been trained. So now you have to untrain yourself. You have to say, when you hear on the news, black on black crime, you have to be like, that's bullshit. There's no such thing as black on black crime.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean, let me change that for you. You mean because you put 100 apartments in this one place to house 50,000 people with no parking, that 2 people got into a fight over parking, and because neither one of them got any of the social services that they were supposed to get when they were in school, when they exhibited behaviors, then they pulled out a gun and started shooting each other. Is that that's what you mean happened? That's what happened. Because when I get the reports and I get the medical records and I get everything, that's what happened.
So we already know that the system is skewed. We already know that it favors white people. We know that. That's nothing new. That's not an aha moment. That's not a shocker. And we also know that there are systemic factors that plague Black communities that made us battle each other. So if you could create the perfect remedy, that we could start, on a lower level. And I look at Sean Poole just commented when you talked about going to the town halls and the community groups and whatnot. Sean Poole said, I got to get back on board. Used to take my 5 babies with me. And that's training up a child, and that's normalizing. The same way we get our kids used to going to church on Sunday, used to going to Sunday school on Sunday. We need to normalize them going to these town hall meetings and send them listening to what their elected officials have to say or not say. Similarly with PTAs, parents used to go to the schools and have the PTA meeting and parent-teacher conference. I've seen that wane. I know a lot of parents is like, I ain't got time for all that. I don't do all that. So they're not as invested in the school system, as they should be, or even want to be, because of all the other things they got to take care of. So if you could remedy a lot of this, where would you start?
I think we always want something big. And the reality, it starts with each individual person. I can't do anything until I change myself, until I become the person that I want to see. And so I think a lot of time we look on the outside, and that's why I'm just saying, just start watching your words.
Mm-hmm.
Watch the words that come out of your mouth and ask, why do they come out? And then once you get good at that, and your conversations start to change, because then you don't allow other people to say stuff. People, they get mad at me all the time
Mm-hmm.
because they'll say something and I automatically correct them.
Mm-hmm.
When they say, Latinos hate us, I'd be like, that's not true. You know that's not true. You mean white people have shown Latino people, Black people killing everybody, and so that's all they've seen on TV, so they think that's what Black people act like?
But do
You
you
know
think,
what I'm saying, Sheryl?
But do you
That's
think that do you think that you're in a position of privilege to have that kind of conversation? Because unfortunately, a lot of Blacks, don't have that kind of knowledge or cannot present it in that way. You're learned. I'm learned. Derek Hinton just put critical race theory equals American history. My dissertation featured critical race theory. So my understanding of critical race theory is, of course, way higher than the average Black person or African American, however you identify.
Sure.
So how do we get homie on the corner to
So
change their thought process?
A lot of my friends are homies on the corner. So, but so the conversation is not as high as I just said it. It's just, I say some shit. I mean, I'll say like, you talking like a white man to me. That sounds like some white shit.
Hashtag period.
Yeah. Because I don't do white supremacy no matter who does it.
Right.
Because I know it shows up in everybody's color. It's affected the entire world.
Right.
The most powerful people in the world have been brought down by this disease.
Mm-hmm.
And so, and it doesn't always have to be serious. It could be joking.
Mm-hmm.
But whatever you do know, you have the right and you have the capacity to share in your own way. You don't share it in my way. I get away with a lot of stuff because of my personality. I laugh a lot. I sing a lot. I am like totally disarming. And then I say something sick and crazy. And then everybody's like, oh, wow, where did that come from? And then I go back to laughing. So I get away with a lot, but I know how to work the personality that I have. Everybody has a different personality and you don't have to be like me. And I'm not even saying you got to check anybody else. I'm saying check yourself. If you don't know about it, learn about it.
That's the start.
Don't be, if somebody's talking about reparations and you don't know, just say, you know what? I never even thought about that. But, we never did get our 40 acres and a mule. And I know there's people out there fighting for that. So let's go. They ain't never going to give us nothing.
Right. Now that right there, what you just said, and this is just me throwing this out there, y'all. Don't hate mail me. Do you think, and this might be too big of a question to answer in 3 minutes, but do you think Black people, and this is very as a whole, y'all see I'm nervous to ask this question. Do you think Black people are scared to unite and push back against the system in a way that will be continual and hold white people accountable? Because like I said earlier, there's this fatigue, there's this tiredness, and like you just said, oh, they will never give us nothing. So, girl, just quit talking about reparation. We ain't getting nothing. Just give me my contingency check or whatever that I'm getting from Biden.
I think it's a very easy question to answer. When we build it, they burn it down.
Every time.
When we are movements, they kill our leaders.
Every time.
So that's why I say if the question is wrong. Okay. It's not, are Black people afraid? We've done it already. They continuously kill us and burn our shit down. So the question is, what's the different tactic? How are we going to move differently? Because we're still building. Because the one thing Black people ain't never been is down for good.
100%. Never.
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 And that's the thing that they're scared of. So, but when you ask the question that way, it puts the onus on us. And instead, we always feel like if we do something well enough, white people will back off. That's not going to happen.
Because they burn it down every time. So we need to share strategies.
Not only share strategies, you got to understand that sometimes things just come to war. Not
You
saying
did.
physical war.
Don't do it, show. You said that in the
No.
last episode. Don't do it again.
Not
Don't
saying
do it.
necessarily physical war, but you have to understand that we have been in a war.
Right.
And Black people are the
You
only
put
ones that ain't
you
fought
put
yet.
everybody to strap up. You
should.
Everybody strap up. Let's
I
do
mean,
this.
it sounds funny, but let's
Right.
put this in realistic context.
Go ahead. I'm
On
ready.
January 6, 2021, white armed militants almost very quickly took over the United States government.
Capital, right, exactly.
They said they were so close to the vice president that it was very close that they could have really took over. All of those people are white supremacists who actively want slavery, who actively want to put us in a... What would you have done had they succeeded?
Touche.
So I'm not saying it to be facetious.
Right.
I'm saying that if we, and I say this all the time to my friends, we always talk about, especially in Christianity, we're soldiers. Soldiers are ready physically, mentally, and spiritually. Are you ready physically, mentally, and spiritually? And the reality is we're not. We've lost so much of ourselves. So when I say it starts with you, you get ready. You change your language with what you're talking about to your friends. You decide what you're going to allow in your home. You decide who you're going to allow to be the influence. If you don't know something, it's Google. You can ask Siri anything. You can ask Alexa. And there's some chick on my new computer. I don't even know who she is. You can ask her too. So there's no excuse not to learn something that you don't know. And so that's all I'm saying. It's like we try to make things so complicated. A revolution takes place in a household.
Touche.
So every Black household should have a gun.
Touche.
And every Black household should have a garden. And every Black household should know what the plan is.
I love it. Sheryl, that was a phenomenal summation. Look at that, 8:59. You better put it in a bow right on time. You better put it in a bow. But before we wrap it up, I want to, and Kwame, forgive me, give me like 2 minutes. I want to just tackle something real quick that Derek Hinton said. And he basically alluded to the fact that he said we as a culture, lose the identity, the unity aspect, and he went to the 50s, 60s, and 70s. Now, last week I talked about that, and I want to push back a little bit, Derek, because one thing that we feel that was in the 50s, 60s, 70s, that whole radical movement we was all together. We were not. You still got to understand, we had Malcolm, we had Martin, and we had the I don't give a dams.
And Snick, and the church, and everything in between.
We still were not together. Martin Luther King impacted the South. The West Coast and all that kind of stuff. We didn't pay Martin Luther King no mind because we wasn't dealing with segregation on that realm. So thinking about Malcolm X, you got the Christians. I'm not following that radical Muslim, yada, yada, yada. So we've never really been fully unified. We have unification stories, and we have seasons where it seems like all Blacks were walking down the street in agreement, singing the same song. We were not, and we still are not. I think we tackle that. Because it's a misconception that constantly comes up. We used to be so unified. No, we were not.
Yeah, and I think the problem with that is that we don't see ourselves. Everybody's trying to be the head. We are a body, and every body part has a different part to play. And we need to stop hating on every other part. If you out here talking about guns, I'm for you. If you out there talking about gardening, I'm for you. If you out here talking about reparations, I'm for you. If you out here talking about reading, I'm for you. If you over here talking about college, I'm for you. If you over here talking about trade school, I'm from you. If it's Black, Black
I'm
and it's for
for
Black
you.
people, about Black people, to get Black people ahead, then I'm for you. If you're about white supremacy, I'm not for you. That's where the line needs to be. Instead of us saying, I'm not going to do this, I'm not going to do that. Yes, and as they say in the theater world, yes, and
right, and that's all I'm trying to say. I mean, unification looks different, but sure, you hit the nail on the head. We all got a role to play, But if I'm Martin and you Malcolm, don't hit me with a baseball bat, because we still got the same goal to bring about some kind of equality, and forward progression for Blacks as a whole. And I think oftentimes we get confused. I used to get hit up all the time when people were marching and all this kind of stuff. I don't never see you out there, yada, yada, yada. Yeah, because I'm in the conference rooms with the people. I'm sitting at the table. You may never see me out there holding a picket sign or whatnot, but you don't know what I'm doing behind the scenes. That's thankless. I've done a lot of thankless things for my people, and they think that I'm this sellout, yada, yada, yada. Nah, bruh. I'm behind the scenes putting in work. You held a sign for 2 hours. I've been at this table with Tom, Dick, and Harry for the last 3 years.
Yeah.
So miss me with that. And I think until we understand everybody's role and operate in our assigned role and respect each other's roles, we're going to constantly be pointing fingers at who ain't doing what. The question is, what are you doing? And that's the thing that Sheryl really charged us about at the beginning of the show. What are you doing? We all have an accountability to move this needle forward. What are you doing? Are you sitting back just on social media talking about it? Or are you really about it? What are you doing? So that's just it. And we're gonna close it out right there. What you doing? With your whole chest. What you doing?
What you doing?
And
keep that big Black energy.
Yeah, right, exactly. So I'm all things Black. Black men, Black women, Black gay, Black straight, Black old, Black. If you are Black and you bout it, let's be about it together. Let's be about it together. But all this infighting and I'm a better Black than you are, nah, bruh. We just a different kind of Black, but we Black. So sure, let folks know how they can reach you if they want to continue this conversation via your inbox or whatever. So let's wrap this up.
Yeah, just hit me up on Instagram at SweetJustice29. That's at SweetJustice29 or Chef Justice LA. Trying to start some new things, but everything's Black, man. That's all we trying to do. I'm always free to talk. Let me know if you want to talk to me again. Maybe next time at 7:00 when it's not my bedtime.
Right. Well, you ride my thread up. So y'all listen, thank y'all for rocking with us on tonight. Me and Sheryl. This was Sheryl's second time at the rodeo, and she bucking this horse. She bringing this bull into submission. So we appreciate y'all. We love y'all. Make sure to follow the Dante Show on YouTube. Go to youtube.com/Dante Morrison. If you have yet to do so, I'm gonna ask you why, because I'm still bewildered by the fact that you're not subscribed to the Dante Show on YouTube. You'll be alerted every single time we go live. Make sure to support me on Instagram. Go to Instagram, Dante_Morrison, Dante_Morrison on Instagram, and check your boy out. I'm posting reels and all of this kind of stuff. I'm trying to be hip. I'm trying to be in the know. I'm trying to be obtainable and touchable, But to the village, the TDS village, I thank you. I love you. I appreciate y'all. Without you, it was just me and Dana talking to ourselves. But you guys give us a reason to come on every Monday and Tuesday. And next Monday, our special guest is Deshawn Jones-Radcliffe. She's going to be on our show talking about her new business because, I love supporting Black entrepreneurs. So if you want to be a guest on the Dante Show, just reach out to pyromedianetwork.com. pyromedianetwork.com, and just ask to be a guest. It takes less than 5 minutes to book yourself on the show, and the Pyro staff will reach out to you to get all the things about your headshot, your bio, and all that, and then slot you on my calendar. And the next thing you know, voila, you're on screen with me. So if you want to be on the Dante Show, reach out to Pyro Media Network, and then also check out My Whys. I have a series of My Whys to talk about why I'm openly gay. Why am I an introvert? Why do I write my books? Why am I proud to be Black? All of my whys, you can learn more about me and also learn more about those that you love, because we may have a lot of stuff in common. All right. So listen, I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Sheryl, don't log off because Kwame wants to talk to you in the green room. So stay on. Y'all, I love you. I appreciate you. I will see you next Monday. Please remember, we are still in a pandemic. Put your mask on, socially distance, all that kind of stuff. Go and get a COVID test. Find if you're negative or positive. Go and get vaccinated if you want to. If you don't want to get vaccinated, please still practice social distancing, okay? Don't bring your unvaxxed self into the club talking about let's turn up and you passing glasses, all right? If you're not vaccinated, that is fine. It's no judgment, but do what you got to do to make sure that we can decrease the rate of transmission. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. I will see you next week. Take care. God bless.